Hey, what's going on, everybody? Do you recognize me? You probably don't, but it's okay. It's been a really long time since I have been on this channel and my voice has been on this channel. And it's been a while since Tim and I have done anything that isn't just immediate related. You know what I mean? Just like either breaking news or posts like post SmackDown Raw and pay-per-views. Like it's all we really got to do for the longest time, and I had to step away because I couldn't do a lot of the live stuff like that. So Tim and I sat down the other day and we sent some DMs back and forth. What were we talking about? We were talking about, oh man, I'll have to go back and check the DMs, but we were talking about something, and you were just like, you know what? This is the kind of back and forth we just need to just record and then just have.
Oh yeah.
Our show, and it really kicked back to me of like, man, yeah, I really miss just getting to talk about professional wrestling in a wide variety, not just a post show or a post pay-per-view, not just whatever's currently happening in like one major promotion, be it WWE or AEW, because I have just been having a really fun time watching wrestling again. And I'll get to more wine a little bit, and I want to talk about it again. And I really do hope that the folks that are seeing this first, which I think this one exclusively is going to be for like Patreon and YouTube members. This is for you guys, because we want your guys' feedback here. What did you like from it? What didn't you like? How do you want to work it? What you want to do with it? How do you guys feel about this? That's just what we're looking for, because really we're just coming in here once a week just to kind of shoot the shit and talk about wrestling and talk about what we like. And when it comes to what we like, boy, oh boy, if you need something to relight your love for wrestling, because boy, my light was dim for a while. I got so tired of like WWE just felt like the same matches week by week by week, and then the pay-per-view comes and it's like, oh, they're doing it again next week. AEW is fantastic. It's a great shot in the arm for anyone that's new to the world of wrestling. But even that can still sometimes get a little bit boring and a little bit stale. So I would advise you to take yourself to the early 90s. And then after that, bring yourself to like 2003, 2005. And we'll talk about why. But you guys need to start watching fucking All Japan matches from the 90s. My WrestleMania was like early 90s to early 2000s Japan wrestling, because it's just, they get you into it, stuff like Kenta Kobashi and Steve Williams from 93 All Japan, watching a bunch of Minoru Suzuki Pancrase stuff, which is basically the UFC before the UFC,
Basically, yeah.
Kawada and Misawa from 1997, Stan Hansen and Misawa, like for so long, I watching independent wrestling again, and there's independent wrestlers that are big fucking just meat houses, like AJ Gray, Nick Gage, Ricky Shane Page, these dudes that just fucking lay shit into people. And it gets you going because you're like, damn, that looks stiff as hell. And you realize that like a lot of these guys drew a lot of inspiration from those All Japan guys, or from a lot of those hard hitting guys. So going back and watching the people that kind of like the pillars of Japan, the people that laid the foundation for what a lot of people would grow on. Like nowadays you see someone throw a clothesline and you're like, cool, that was a nice looking clothesline. Dude, Stan Hansen hit a burning lariat in the 90s. Holy fuck, the fucking arena was losing their minds.
Where do you think JBL got it from?
That's what I'm saying, baby. And like, it's just so crazy to me how I could watch those matches, and these matches happened 20 fucking years ago, 30 years ago, and I'm still just sucking them down. I'm still just watching them. I'm invested. It's great. I think it's such and it's such a cool way to watch wrestling again, especially as someone who's been so used to watching independent AEW and WWE modern stuff. Just the stuff that's like, all right, cool. You got your big guy. You got a couple of big guys on your team, on your roster, then the rest of your guys are relatively the same looking dudes that do about the same 4 or 5 different moves. And it's like, yeah, it's cool, it's entertaining, and it's fun, but I love going back and watching that old school stuff, and then thinking, and then seeing now a whole bunch of small independent wrestlers who are making their way up that wrestle, this guy wrestles a lot like Misawa, he's hard hitting just like him. I would implore you to watch AJ Gray's For the Culture from this last collective weekend. He hits a man like a brick fucking house, and I it's the only thing that I'm thinking about. And I'm pulling up my phone That's another thing I like about this podcast now is that I can kind of hang out and I'd not feel like pressured that I'm on my phone because I'm looking something up here because I'm looking up this AJ Gray match because off the top of my head I'm blanking on who he faced, and it was actually from the Acid Cup. I was wrong. Watch for the Culture. That's his show. This match I'm talking about was from Acid Cup 3. You can watch it on Fight TV. AJ Gray is absolutely fantastic, and I really recommend you guys check him out. Absolutely, he's one of my favorite independent wrestlers right now. Just a fucking brick of a man hitting more brick of men. Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, Tim. I didn't fucking watch Mania. I watched one match from WrestleMania.
We'll get to that in a minute. Hold on, because I want to get your opinions on something that I think a lot of people are going to want to get your opinions on, because we know Nick loves another Nick, and that Nick was attacked by a John over the weekend. You get where I'm going?
Fuck, dude! Oh my god, that actually made me. I was sitting in my chair. It was like, I don't know, 8:30, 9 p.m. I was sitting in my chair getting ready to go for a skate to go to the liquor store. And I look on my phone and I'm looking at this hashtag. I'm like, what the fuck? In post-production, put the picture of John Moxley and Nick Gage having the stare down. Oh my God. We all kind of know why they're doing it. It doesn't make it any less fucking cool. It's awesome. This is going to rule. And the really cool, go back and watch their like 2000 and their early 2000s matches in CCW.
Yes,
it's literally death. It's just, hey, we're gonna go out tonight. I'm going to attempt to murder you. Try to stop me. It's really fun. And just seeing the absolute hellacious match that Nick Gage had with Ricky Shane Page for that GCW World Title, knowing how long Gage has been fucking injured and hurt and down. Finally coming back in this big match, getting the shit kicked out of him, still winning the match, and then taking that, I almost called it the Future Shock. That would have been really bad. Taking the
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, taking that fucking double underhook DDT onto light tubes. Paradigm shift onto light tubes. Yeah, I don't really know that.
Or as New Japan calls it, the Death Rider.
That's cool. Why don't they call it that here? That's awesome. Like, I want more fucking like showmanship in my wrestling. Give it cooler names,
right?
But the two of them, that match is going to be insanely fun. Those two guys are, exactly what hardcore wrestling is. And for even people that only know John Moxley formerly as Dean Ambrose and thought like, oh yeah, he did some hardcore stuff when I saw him in WWE. Boy, oh boy, was CZW a weird dark time. Remember his Dusty Rhodes impressions?
Yes. Not only did he show up at, I don't even know which show it was over the weekend. There was a lot of collective shows.
It was the final show of the weekend. It was Joey Janela's Spring Break, but Joey Janela lost to Ricky Shane Page earlier in the month.
Yeah.
And then lost the right to the show. So it was the RS. It was like RSP fucking whatever. It was funny as fuck.
Friday, he was also in a bloody battle with Josh Barnett.
Oh my fucking blood sport, man.
Yeah.
Man, we really should have just made the topic the collective weekend, huh? We came in here with two topics, and we're already fucking dismantling them. The collective weekend was a lot of fun, and Josh Barnett's blood sport fucking ruled. And that match between Barnett's old. Barnett's like made of brittle and broken glass, so it's weird to think that he's still getting the fuck beat out of him like this. But Moxley is. He's a fucking workhorse, man.
Yes.
He is he's one of the few like workhorses in wrestling.
For all the people over the weekend saying John Moxley showed up at this show on the collective weekend, and then he showed up at this show to take on Nick Gage, is that making AEW look like they're an indie company because they're letting their wrestlers work for indie wrestling?
Yeah.
I'm like,
hell yeah.
Well, yes and no, because they are bigger than any of these companies. But they're giving their wrestlers the freedom to go out there and have fun. Yeah. At the same time. Because I saw a lot of comments on John Moxley doing Bloodsport. John Moxley setting up a match with Nick Gage is just devaluing AEW, especially when he's their number 2 guy. I'm like, what? Why? Because WWE won't let their guys do this?
I think that's the thing, is I love the idea of thinking like they're devaluing the company by letting the wrestler wrestle.
Right?
It's like, hold on, they're just they're.
I
My
mean,
favorite thing with AEW, my favorite fucking thing between AEW and Impact Wrestling, their collaboration that's going on, is that it makes and with New Japan,
Yeah.
it makes wrestling feel like a circle. It makes it feel like what I'm watching on AEW TV will matter. Like a Kenny promo on Wednesday might matter on Impact on Thursday, and whatever Finn Juice are doing with the Impact titles might translate to something in New Japan. So then you've got people being like, well, let me check this out because these couple of guys show up. Or you might have saw Private Party on Impact and thought, oh, well, I watched Impact this week and I really only watched for Private Party, but I actually found a few new people that I liked. Dude, I've been watching Impact almost weekly for the last couple of months. I think Susan might be my favorite professional wrestler on the planet. She's just the best. She's the best thing in Impact right now. She's fantastic. And because Impact is so self-aware and so silly, and they're like, fuck it, whatever you guys want to do, we'll just give you the money to do it.
Oh yeah,
and so
that's for sure. I mean, who shot Bravo? There you go. There's your answer right there.
Swingers Palace. Like, what is this? It's so funny and it's so like real. And then you've got like the silliness of that mixed with like, oh, Kenny's gonna show up, and Kenny is like one of the top wrestlers on planet goddamn Earth, so you're gonna tune in for that. Rich Swann is a pretty great fucking competitor himself.
Oh, Rich Swann's having some awesome matches right now.
Dude, he really they strapped a rocket on him, and he's really carrying Impact to some great places right now.
Yeah,
and I know
I was iffy when they started the Rich Swann, Eric Young stuff, because I was like, I don't know. Like, I liked it, but I thought a lot of fans were going to see them as the WWE reject guys who they're trying to push. But then when they had their matches, I go, no, you need to watch the matches and see what these guys are doing.
And I think that's what a lot of, that's what everybody that leaves WWE's basically had to do.
Except for, I think, the Good Brothers, to be honest. I think they've been the ones that have, I think, and I think it may just be, hold on, hear me out. It may just be because they're also on AEW as like Kenny Omega's guys in like the top act, so they've kept credibility. But a lot of guys that left WWE last year, hold on. A lot of guys that left WWE last year and then went to like Impact or showed up at random places, people go, oh yeah, they're just a WWE cast-offs that they didn't want, that they're not going to do anything with. But then you look at the Good Brothers, and they're still out there having great matches. They're on Impact now every week doing stuff with Kenny Omega. Yes, they're on BTE, and Carl Anderson is telling freaking Doc Gallows, hey, we can't win matches because you're jacking off too much and you're tired before your match.
But I don't know where to begin with that.
I feel like
so
as far as everybody that left WWE in 2020 that was quote-unquote fired, they've looked the best as being able to keep their credibility and not just be, oh, those are the WWE cast-off guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think once you watched like one match from that person and being like, oh, that is nothing like what they did at their 10-year at fucking Vince McMahon's place. Like even like fucking Matt Cardona, like even he looks like he's having fun, just kind of like working the same kind of style, but doing it a little more goofy and doing it a little more like over the top.
Think about it though. When he started training wrestling, he got a WWE tryout like 6 months into his training or whatever. It's less than a year.
God.
And went to WWE and just never did anything else.
Yep. Yeah, I just want to mention about the Good Brothers real quick. My favorite thing about the Good Brothers is their gimmick of not wanting to wrestle. they never want to fucking wrestle. Well, they give me the gold. I never want to wrestle. I love that. I do really think like the whole, and I mean, I want to get your thoughts on it too. How you feel about the wrestling kind of, how do you feel about wrestling being not like a fucking its own thing of like, oh, there's WWE, there's AEW, there's Impact, you gotta pick what you fucking like, and they'll never mention each other and they'll never work with each other, because I think wrestling is so much more fun when you've got a dude you don't regularly see on your preferred weekly show coming up that sparks interest for another weekly show, and it's just people are just watching wrestling then, and then it's cool. And I think that's what, WCW and WWF had kind of in the 90s, and that were just the you had your preferred show, but you'd never fucking see, or it'd be very rare if you saw one guy from another company show up on another, unless it was a contract swappage, not just like hey, we're lending you this guy and work a feud or work a fucking angle with one of your guys. But with like Impact, AEW, and New Japan doing it, and like letting guys go work independent stuff, wrestling just kind of feels nice and tight knit, and like it's one little thing, and everything matters. How do you what's your take on that? How would you like to see your wrestling presented to you?
I know WWE is never gonna work with others as much as Triple H will tell you we're open for business, brother. Yeah, I don't see that happening, but I do like, you've got AEW working with Impact. They're also working with New Japan Pro Wrestling. We assume we haven't seen that crossover yet. We've seen, Finn Juice come to Impact, take the tag titles. We've seen a lot of Impact guys work New Japan Strong and stuff on Friday nights. And the thing that I like, where you have multiple companies that can work together, you're not oversaturating with, we're throwing this guy on this show right now, and then this guy's going to come here, and this. No, you can work 3 months without no integration and build somebody up. So when they come, say somebody from New Japan finally shows up on AEW, you go, oh shit, that's that guy that hasn't lost in like 3 months in Japan. All of a sudden he's here, and he just attacked, I don't know, Orange Cassidy. Because Cassidy's on a run.
Hey, that's Kenta from New Japan, and he's
there we go. I forgot about that.
John Moxley.
Yeah. I forgot. We did see someone from New Japan.
Yeah.
Kenta, yeah. Kenta's been built up. He's been, I guess that's a little different than what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, because it wasn't necessarily Moxley. Like big Gaijin monster. Well, they had at least some story.
Yeah, that's different because Kenta's been calling out Moxley since October. Moxley couldn't go work for them because of COVID and all that. But I was more in line of like, you've got somebody like Zack Sabre Jr., who's on a run of like 5, 6, 7 wins, big wins and stuff. And then he shows up in New Japan or AEW, and he's like, oh, this is your most popular guy? He doesn't even do shit. Well, how good is he? And he goes against Orange Cassidy or something. Like, I can out-wrestle him any day. And it's just like, you have guys that are built here and built here that maybe this has been the plan all along. We're both building up a guy to start something, but because us as fans don't see them integrating every week, it comes off as that cool big surprise of, oh, both of these guys who've been getting good pushes are now going to go at each other.
I mean, just think about any American showing up in Japan. Think about Stan Hansen showing up in Japan and why he was so beloved, because it was we know about this guy, but we've never seen him before, and dear Lord, he does what's promised. I think wrestling's in a great place right now. I think they're in a really good, even with COVID, and not being allowed to have too many fans there. I know we just wrapped up a Mania that had fans, and the pictures I saw and the videos on Twitter and highlights and stuff, like you could just tell the crowd was just happy to see like wrestling again and see that go down.
There were some things that they didn't get into, and Hulk Hogan got booed every time he tried to speak.
Rightfully so. But, and I also think a lot of people don't, maybe WrestleMania wasn't the best show to bring people back to.
I think it was. I think it was fine.
Yeah, but I'm talking like sometimes those can run a little long, and then you do end up having and it was probably some early crowd burnout because.
Well, I don't even think it was that anything ran long, because both shows didn't go more than, like, main shows didn't go more than 3.5 hours.
Right, but when was the last time you fucking sat in a place actively going crazy for 3.5 hours? Pretty early on, you're probably going to be like, oh, fuck.
True, but I mean, if you've ever gone to a Monday Night Raw taping, there's 3 hours plus another hour of main event tapings.
Imagine going to a Monday Night Raw taping. Imagine watching an episode of Monday Night Raw for 3 hours. Imagine going live on Twitch to review it after.
You do it every Monday.
Who would do? Oh,
Twitch.tv/PWUnlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, 8:25 every Monday night Pacific.
You talk about how most shows didn't really go over 3 hours. How did you feel about the night 1, night 2? Would you like if Mania kind of kept as a 2-night event, or do you like the grand 1 night?
So I got multiple reasons on why yes and why no. So
of course,
as far as Mania being 2 nights, I think it's fun to do the 2 nights because you can do. Now I thought an idea they could have done was Saturday all Raw matches, Sunday all SmackDown matches, maybe something like that. I don't know, but I like the way that they just flipped it. Whatever. Okay, cool. But as a content creator, I like it being 2 nights because that means 2 nights of podcast that's going to get good views because it's both WrestleMania reviews. But at the same time, it's like, okay, maybe we do just need 1 night of WrestleMania for fans that are going to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Because some fans may only be able to afford 1 ticket, but want to see.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody was like, I want to go to WrestleMania and I want to watch Drew versus Bobby Lashley, but I also want to see Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Crap, they're not on the same night. Which night do I go to? That is the one negative I see of it, is for fans that want to go live, but can only afford 1 night.
Of course.
And
you go ahead.
The one good thing about it being 2 nights, though, is that you're not getting a 7-hour show like we've seen in the past. You're going to get a 3.5-ish hour show as long as there's no rain delays. You're going to get a 3.5-ish hour show each night. So, and as I was saying over the weekend, as a NASCAR fan, trust me, I know all about rain delays. Fucking every time they run on the East Coast, it gets rained out. I mean, the races this weekend were supposed to go Friday, Saturday. They both got rained out to Sunday. So,
Christ.
Whenever everyone's complaining about, ooh, WrestleMania is going to start late because of the rain, I go, hey, at least it ain't starting on a freaking Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific time because it fucking got rained out on Sunday. So,
that's very true.
But regardless of all of that, I think there's advantages and disadvantages to it being 2 nights. Again, the advantage is you're not going to sit through an 8-hour show like we have in the past because there's no breaking it down into 2 days.
Yeah.
And do I say what I'm about to say? The only thing I don't like about the 2 nights is you now have 2 main events. Okay. And does it devalue calling the first night match a main event when that second and I don't know how to say this without sounding rude.
No, because I mean, I get what you're saying, because it is definitely the kind of thing where you're like the whole idea of being the WrestleMania main event is that you're that kind of like one night is, finishing match.
Would Sasha and Bianca really main evented if this was a 1-night show?
I think so.
You think they would have put them over Roman,
absolutely,
Edge, and Daniel Bryan?
I would. I mean, seeing the match that they had, fuck yeah.
But Edge, Roman, and Daniel Bryan was I would give that 5 stars, near perfect match.
I didn't watch it, but
that match,
yeah, I'd put them.
They couldn't have done they could not have done that triple threat match much better. The only thing that would have been cooler is Jimmy Uso came in so they did a thing where Jey Uso tried to help Roman early. Edge took him out. He showed back up at the end of the match. I thought the only thing that would have made that cooler is if it was Jimmy's return instead of Jey coming back. But regardless, does it? That's the question now. You've got 2 WrestleMania main events, your Saturday night main event and your Sunday night main event. And so then you're going to have the fans saying, well, Sasha and Bianca made history main eventing WrestleMania, but do you put an asterisk next to that because it was on 1 night of WrestleMania and not
here's the thing. Did they main event WrestleMania? Did they wrestle at WrestleMania?
Well, everybody wrestled at WrestleMania.
Were they the last match at that WrestleMania?
On night 1, yes. So I get what you're saying, but trust me.
They main evented WrestleMania.
I know, but I'm trying to say for certain fans are going to try and discredit it as, the Sunday match is the real main event.
Of course. And to go into my thoughts on the 2-night event thing, I think it's perfect. I think it's the way.
Oh, what happened?
I forgot to save Audacity to the right drive.
I
filled up my drive.
It's all good.
Well, that's unfortunate, but I mean, you could probably cut at least maybe we could probably cut together a fucking 25-30 minute thing from that.
We're good. Don't worry about it.
Let me save that.
I got mine. We're fine.
Come. I'm gonna save that right now. Okay. So we'll 3, 2, back to normal. Hey, guess he just filled up his fucking computer with audio files. It's me. Where do we leave off on? What was I saying?
You're saying that you think WrestleMania as a 2-night event is perfect.
It's perfect. I think it's great because you give everybody an opportunity to have a WrestleMania match. No one has a 5-minute WrestleMania match unless that's like the plan and like
Randy Orton and the Fiend.
Exactly, like if that's like the concept of it.
And that match was bad.
No one has like there's no meaningless matches for the most part. Everything kind of feels like it has its place on the card. It gives it time to breathe and build a beginning, middle, and end to the story. And the crowd has the opportunity to go, hey, for the people that are there, and I'm sure there was a lot of people that did probably think exactly what you said of, I wanted to see fucking Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, but I also really wanted to see Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley wrestle, but I can't go on both nights. But I still do think whether you had fans that bought like a ticket package, which got them both nights and whatever.
And granted, this year's WrestleMania tickets were a lot cheaper than a normal WrestleMania.
True. So. And having the 2-night separate just gives people an opportunity to fucking take in what they watched and not take in and then at the 5th hour be like, holy shit, I'm sitting here for a full day's worth of work. Like a WrestleMania is like a full shift at a job. And it can get tiring and it can get boring. And then I feel like it gives a lot more emphasis to those matches by a fan aspect where it's like everyone has time to get into a match. They can get invested and they can enjoy the match. And then the next one, they have the opportunity to start it again. Maybe the crowd starts off not so hot because they just finished being hot. But excuse me if I'm thinking an American crowd would be a lot like a Japan crowd where they kind of start a little bit silent and then they get louder as the match starts to progress. And by the point where they kind of figure the finish might be coming soon, they're getting hot. Here's the finish. Cool. Let's do it again. Night. And then it doesn't ruin any of those matches that maybe weren't the biggest matches on the card. And now there's a crowd shitting on the match or there's a crowd not even reacting to the match at an 8-hour show. But with a 3-hour show, everyone's kind of like, oh, cool, this is fun. Like, I'm watching all these matches, and then the next night, either there's a new fucking completely fresh crowd, or there's like the crowd from last night that's like jittery and like, oh, we got, a handful more matches to go, and a mix of, the people that didn't get to go to night 1, and now they're thinking, oh, cool, now I get to watch all of these matches live. I got to watch it on tape last night, so I can't wait to see them live. I really like the idea of splitting them into 2 nights. I don't even watch the fucking product. I don't even like it. I don't even like the company, but they're doing something good for once. They're fucking like, they're getting balls rolling, and they're starting to realize how fucking wrestling works again. Fuck. It just sucks seeing them go from like, I was telling you this the other night. This is the last thing I'll say about WWE as a whole, at least for this episode, because I'm fucking got to fix this audio issue on my computer. But it was, I think about all the time how they signed Shinsuke Nakamura, put him up against Sami Zayn, had an absolute banger of a match.
Oh yeah.
They know how to make money. They could print fucking $1 million right now by booking a match on Raw that people actually want to see, or making a 3-hour episode of Raw feel fucking bearable. And I just don't get why they don't.
But then they had freaking AJ Nut Nakamura at Mania.
Then they just had Nakamura and Jinder.
Oh, Lord.
Fun fact, that Nakamura and Jinder feud, I went to a SmackDown taping in Oakland. It was the night that Jinder made the fucking like, they eat cats joke.
Yeah.
And I got up and I left. I just left the arena and I got on Bart and I fucking went home. I was like, none of this matters anymore. I can't, like, I don't know why I'm here. This is not 99. There's kids in the crowd. They just want to see cool stuff.
Kind Ty Val Venus.
Oh, please. I don't know, man. It gets rough after a minute, especially. That's why I've been going back and to circle back to the beginning. It's why I've been watching Japan. It just gets tough to watch wrestling that slaps you across the fucking face.
Nick's not only watching grown men wrestle in Japan, he's also watching Ultimate Muscle.
Oh my god. I finished. Boy, yeah, I finished Ultimate Muscle, the Kinnikuman Legacy, the 04 version, or 02 or 04 that was on WB Kids. I finished that in the Fox Kids. I finished that in about like 4 days.
I watch it every Saturday morning.
It's a really great show, and
yes.
But it has a lot like how Digimon. Like, I don't know if you've ever watched Digimon, but have you watched
Digimon?
have you gone back and watched Digimon as an adult?
Yes, I've got kids who I wanted to show Digimon.
That
I watched
show
all
is
seasons.
it's almost for kids it's probably great. As an adult, that show is almost unwatchable.
No, I like season 1 is still really good of Digimon.
It's good, but it's just like, this is a kid show. The jokes are made for kids. The gags are all made for kids.
There's some adult jokes in season 1. Trust me.
And like the cool thing about watching, I watched Ultimate Muscle first, and then I watched the 80s Kinnikuman, like the actual 80s, the original. And I would recommend watching the original first, as any fucking medium of entertainment. Watch the original first. And then and then watch the American version. For it being an American show, fucking almost the exact as the original, not in animation, but in vibe and in tone and in story. It explains a lot to you, and it's fucking cool, man. And you see a lot of references to real life wrestlers. They got like Vern Gunn. He's got like the AWA mask on, and a lot of like the finishing moves you'll recognize, and you'll wonder, why the fuck did they name it that? Like, some guy's a pile driver. He turns into a horse, slams him in the ground. He's like, pile driver stallion style. I'm like, that dude just turned into a horse. And also, the dude that made the finishing moves, like, whoever thought, all right, so yeah, what's your name? Sunshine. All right, cool. You're a giant pyramid. So here's what you're gonna do. For some reason, your stomach's gonna open up into like a spinning fucking like rolling contraption, and then you're just gonna like put the body inside of you and then just crush them to death. Or like Ramen Man using the fucking
Ramen Man
uses a Boston crab and yanks back so far he snaps you in half, turns you into noodles, and he eats you. Like, who's sitting in the boardroom like, yo, what if he eats him? And then they go, hey, kids are gonna love this.
And they do.
Man.
And then
they love it.
And then they make an GameCube game.
Oh my god, dude, the game. I've been running the PS2 game on an emulator, and it's fantastic.
I had it on GameCube growing up. But
I'm about to start playing the GameCube version as well.
Speaking of Ultimate Muscle, you know, that main character, you know who he influenced, right?
Yeah, Joseph Samoeth.
Yes, Samoa Joe, who we're going to talk about right now. Samoa Joe apparently was in Japan on a tour and was thinking of needing a fit. So he tells a story of he's eating in this restaurant or whatever and trying to come up with a good finishing move, and sees Ultimate Muscle on TV, sees him do the Muscle Buster, and goes, I can do that move. There's my new finisher.
And I really wish they'd let him use that. I wish they'd let him use that in the fucking
I mean, ever since he almost killed Tyson Kidd, TJ Wilson.
I get it. Like, it's a dangerous move, but like,
it's literally the only person that's ever been actually hurt.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a serious injury, not to knock the fucking injury.
Oh, no,
but at the same time, fucking Hurricane Rana the wrong way can end you.
Exactly. I mean, Kevin Nash can't even walk back to his corner without tearing his quad.
Fucking Vince McMahon can't walk to the ring without tearing his quads. Hey, that's really funny. That's really funny to think about. The amount of like quads that have been torn in that, because I'm pretty sure when Vince got into the ring, he was closest to like the turnbuckle that usually has the stairs attached to it.
He ran down the ramp and slid in.
Yeah, and Kevin Nash also tore his at the same exact corner post. That corner post has taken more injuries than half of the current WWE roster, I bet. Has like given out more injuries. That's so cool to think about.
But I have heard wrestlers say in the past, you usually get your worst injuries off of fluke things that you do 99%. Like, you do 99 times, and then the one time you do it injures you. Like Seth Rollins. How many times has he done the sunset flip powerbomb deal in the corner and then just destroyed his knee?
You know, fun fact, that happening to him makes it almost impossible for me to watch that move live. Like, if someone does it, I kind of like, I wince up a little bit. Yeah, because then you don't really think about like, yeah, I guess they can't really see how they're landing, so they gotta hope that they're like, that they're not so close to the ground that they don't have time to plant their foot the right way, and just thinking about like how free Think about Sid. Think about Sid.
Oh Lord, don't even
think about Sid.
But going back to what I was trying to transition to with Ultimate Muscle and Kid Muscle and the Muscle Buster and Samoa Joe, we learned this weekend that Samoa Joe is no longer on commentary.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't been following the story, it was reported over the weekend that Tom Phillips out as the lead play-by-play guy for Monday Night Raw. We're getting this new guy named Adnan Vink or something like that from Sportsnet in Canada and ESPN. Apparently, he was fired in 2019 from ESPN for leaking vital information to the media. I don't know. But WWE hired him. He's taken over as the lead guy on Monday Night Raw starting tonight, Monday, April 12th. And they're also bringing over Corey Graves from SmackDown to be like his guy on the side. I was told that they're doing this because he's got no real experience doing not no experience doing commentary, but very little experience doing commentary.
Wrestling commentary as well.
Well, not just wrestling commentary, but any real commentary. So they wanted somebody. Go for it.
I was gonna say that commentary is hard enough, and then wrestling commentary, just not breaking those rules that are in place in that world. Fuck, that's scary.
So the whole thing is Corey Graves is going to come over and help him and get him, acclimated and this and that. But then there was no word of, is Samoa Joe moving to SmackDown to be with Michael Cole? And WWE put out a statement this morning, finally revealing that, yes, what you heard over the weekend is true. But then at the very end of this, it just says, and I quote, Samoa Joe remains part of the WWE talent roster. So what does that mean? Is Samoa Joe cleared? Remember, Samoa Joe has been injured, out with a concussion. I'm not saying his concussion was fake, but he was initially out with a concussion since February 2020. We had heard that he may have been cleared in the fall, but Vince just adores his commentary and didn't want to lose him on commentary.
Which doesn't really feel like he does much on commentary other than going, oh!
No. Joe's really good on commentary. I was told that Vince feels like Joe is the best commentator they have in the whole company.
That sucks. No.
And that's why he stayed on commentary so long.
Hold on. No. I don't believe you. I don't fucking believe you. I don't believe that
multiple times.
I don't believe that Vince McMahon watched a guy like Samoa Joe wrestle and then doesn't immediately think, yeah. This guy's wrestling's a shit. This guy could carry my company. But puts him on commentary because he's injured and then goes, well, this guy's the fucking best we got. That's insane. That sucks. That honestly sucks, dude.
I was told by one person that Joe may have been on commentary for as long as he was because Vince was afraid to lose him on commentary because he likes him so much. He likes his work so much.
I mean, I get hey, congratulations, Joe. I guess that's a job in the company, but I sure would love to see you in the ring again, fucking hitting kids with your not kids, people.
But that's where my question goes: is if this statement of Samoa Joe will remain on the talent roster, and them not saying where he's going, not saying that he's just switching with Corey Graves and going to SmackDown, where they told us, and it says right here. Tom Phillips will become the new host of 205 Live and oversee special projects for WWE programming on Peacock and at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando. Phillips also remains in his role as senior manager of on-air talent. So,
I didn't know he was in that role.
Yeah, I didn't either. I thought that was Michael Cole. Michael Cole. I know that's Michael Cole I know basically in NXT, Michael Cole's in charge of commentary. He's the guy that whenever commentary needs something, they go to Michael Cole, and then he goes to Triple H and Shawn and all them, but whatever. So I thought he may have had the same role on the main roster. I don't know if that is the same role.
Interesting.
But
we'll have to look at. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that about Tom Phillips.
Yeah. Vince really likes Tom Phillips, that face fucker.
Oh, God.
But I knew that gets you. But regardless, they say where Tom Phillips is going to go, but all we hear is Joe on the talent roster will remain.
It's just kind of sounds like they're gonna slowly transition Joe probably back into a wrestler, probably back onto TV as a wrestler. But
slowly? If they were gonna do slowly, here's my question. Here's my thing. Hear me out. If they were gonna do it, what?
I just realized something.
What?
Do you have any idea what tonight is?
Monday Night Raw, Raw after WrestleMania.
Exactly. Do you know what usually happens on the Raw after Mania?
Something big, a big return, or a big.
Hey, didn't he come back at a Raw after Mania once? Like, didn't we see the return of Nia Jax, and immediately after her, it was Samoa Joe? Because she was out there, and then he came walking. I don't know if that was a SmackDown. I don't know if that was a Raw after Mania, but it was a really hot crowd that night. And it was like if Nia Jax did something big or she returned, and then as she was walking up the ramp, Joe's theme started playing, and the place just went ape shit, and he like walked past Nia, and that's just something I remember.
I don't.
But yeah,
remember that per se. Actually,
you don't fucking. Well, that's why we have Google, huh?
That's what I'm doing right now. Because I know he was out for a little while last year. He got hurt.
Yeah. Looks like it was
came
October
back in
30th.
February. Was that what you're thinking of when he came back last year in February before, like for a week, and then got hurt again?
Maybe that.
I'm pulling up a video right now.
No, it's not. It was from October 30th of 2017. It was like
Really?
during it was like a segment with Alicia Fox and Nia Jax, and Nia Jax went to go charge Alicia Fox up the ramp, and then out of nowhere, Samoa Joe like just appeared.
I found the video.
Went down to the ring to cut it like a promo or something.
Huh.
Yeah,
I see what you're talking about.
For some reason, I thought that was a Raw after Mania. But yeah, I mean, hey, I wouldn't put it past him to make that the Raw after Mania thing.
Because I like your thing of do it slowly. Because what would have been cool, remember, Samoa Joe has not been drafted. He's not on any specific brand. So you just swap him and Corey Graves, put him over on SmackDown, and he starts saying things on commentary about a certain somebody. You know, the guy that he was in his last feud with is on SmackDown, Seth Rollins. So he could have like been moved over to SmackDown, subtle jabs at Seth Rollins on commentary, and then finally just go, this guy thinks he's the savior. I'll show you what a savior really is, and jump off commentary and go attack Seth Rollins from behind or something. But
I like. No.
Because there was also speculation over the last 2 weeks, that Joe's going to pop off commentary and join the Hurt Business and attack Drew and be the one to take out Drew for Bobby Lashley. People have been trying to predict that.
Nah, you know who ended up taking that spot? Jimmy Lloyd.
Huh?
Did you see that over the weekend? Jimmy Lloyd, a professional and indie wrestler for GCW, was wearing a GCW shirt at Mania, and he got on camera. So they gave him WWE was like, apparently GCW is like you can't wear that there.
I saw that. I know that's who he is.
Yeah, so they gave him a Hurt Business shirt, and then after Mania Night 1, he went to go wrestle a death match in the Hurt Business shirt.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, that was so fucking cool.
So
everyone has been capping on that.
So now the big question is, if Samoa Joe's finally cleared and able to get back in the ring, who does he work with? And I mean, you've kind of got the built-in of Seth Rollins, because they were already doing the Seth Rollins thing right before he got hurt. He was teaming up with Kevin Owens to take on Seth, and I think Seth already had Murphy. He may have had Austin Theory. He had the AOP, but they're gone now. But it's like,
fuck yeah, they are, huh?
I really want to see Samoa Joe get back in the ring. Samoa Joe is just phenomenal. I mean, Joe's great on commentary. Joe's also good cutting promos. I mean, right before Elimination Chamber 2000, was it 1918? With his infamous promo where he told Jeff to go back to AA, or he said, shut up, it's an AA meeting. And he made Randy Orton fall to his knees. He was laughing so hard. I always forget the quote exactly, but that's one of the, because he just rips everybody in that promo.
Everybody in that ring, he fucking.
And that correlated to Joe being great on commentary as well, because he's such a good talker. Vince falling in love with his commentary work. But just think if we can get Samoa Joe back, not just wrestling, but cutting promos on guys again.
And if you guys don't remember how good of a wrestler Samoa Joe is, may I take you back to the faraway year of 2005. Before we wrap up this show, we can make everything a full circle again. Samoa Joe's in Ring of Honor, and who is he facing? Fucking Kenta Kobashi! That match, the finish of that match, looks like if I took one of those strikes, my jaw would be like, he'd hit me so hard, my jaw would fucking land in Texas. Like, holy fuck. That match rules. If you guys want to remind yourself on how good of a wrestler Samoa Joe is, 2005 Ring of Honor, Samoa Joe versus Kenta Kobashi, they brought in the All Japan commentary.
That's right. I forgot about that.
It's Japanese commentary calling this match, and it's fucking beautiful.
I forgot about that.
So this was a cool little test episode that
for sure
halfway through audio fucked up, which is cool. But
no, because I got the audio.
You've got my Discord audio, but I'm talking my fucking not Discord audio got all bliffed and all that. But yeah, if you made it this far in, I don't know if Tim's gonna edit this up or anything, but if you've made it this fucking far for some reason, what did you think about this? Did you enjoy it? Do you kind of like the idea of Tim and I just kind of having something where we just shoot the shit and talk about wrestling and what we have been enjoying or what we enjoyed in the past? Or always happy to bring some friends on. I know people who are just dying to come on here and just have the ability to talk about some wrestling. So let us know, guys. We want to make this a show that we record for us as much as it is something for you to feel like you are interacting with and having a good time with and enjoying. And yeah, so if you guys have any feedback, anything you'd like to see us do, let us know. That's all for us. This is the first test episode. Patreon members and Patreon and YouTube members, thanks guys. This means a lot that you guys signed up for our Patreon and for our YouTube membership and support us in that way. And we hope that this piece of exclusive content and more pieces of exclusive content to come make you guys happy. Please let us know what you want and we'll give it to you.
Right on. I mean, I really enjoyed doing this. I like more open topic stuff where we have topics, we start talking about them, we get drifted off in one direction, and we just go for. And I just love being able to just talk and not be hampered with, here's your news. This person did this. This person did this. This person's gonna wrestle this person. We'll see you next time.
To get real about that, it really does suck being a news channel. Because then you got to compete with Dave Meltzer and fucking all the already established names. And a big thing for PWU is making sure that we're a place that you can come to get not only reliable, quick, and accurate news, but a place to get entertainment and a place to get videos that are fun to watch about wrestling that aren't just like, oh, breaking news, here you go. We want to provide more like fun stuff and entertaining stuff and interactive is a huge fucking thing. I want to play video games on Twitch. I want to play with like the chat and I want to play a bunch of old N64 wrestling games, play the Ultimate Muscle games, all that shit. Like that's what we want to do. So trust us when we say, like, for those of us that see us as a news channel, 2021 is going to be kind of a crazy year for you guys. But for the people that kind of know us as like the entertainment channel that we've been trying to be, you're going to see us grow a bunch this year. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Experiments maybe coming here soon.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. I'm like, we're going to be throwing fucking every fucking noodle at the wall to see which one sticks to it.
Exactly.
We're going to have a great fucking time doing it. And I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Follow me on Twitter at ArmWeek21, of course. Follow us on Twitter at PWUnlimited. Tim also has social media, but I'm going to keep talking so he can't plug his social media. Just kidding, Tim. Where can they find you?
You can find me everywhere at Timmy Buddy. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us on Instagram not at PW. I think it's just search for Pro Wrestling Unlimited on Instagram. And remember to check out our website, PWUnlimited.co, and turn on those push notifications like over 650 people already have. Helping grow that website, because sometimes there's news that comes out like right before Monday Night Raw that is good news and important, but not enough time to get a video out because Raw's in 15 minutes. So for some stuff, check the website because news may not go up to the YouTube because there's not enough time to get it out before it possibly actually is not super as relevant because it's already happened. So with that, head over there, PWUnlimited.co. Check that out. We will be trying to do this video for you guys every single week. And I have one more thing. I want to know what you guys in the comments think we should name this weekly show. Should we just call it the PW Unlimited Podcast?
So about to ask that, actually. I meant to ask you that off camera.
Should we come up with something else? Because I've got some ideas from what we could do. But if someone gives us a really good name, maybe they'll win some prizes.
Whoa!
Maybe we'll do stuff. And I got some giveaway stuff coming up here soon anyway. So We'll see how it all does go. But before we get too long in the tooth here, I want to thank you guys for joining us for this first pilot episode of whatever this is going to become with me and Nick.
Yeah.
And have a great, great rest of your week.
See you later, guys.